It's okay. So the name of the temple is Manuha. It is also the name of the Mon King, who was captured by Burmese king. So as I told you before, we marched to the south exactly in 1057 and we occupied Mon Kingdom. The name of the kingdom was Tato. It was near the golden rock. It was the capital of Mon people in 11th century. So we attacked and then occupied the kingdom in 1057 and we captured the king and queen and their people as the slaves. We gave them a piece of land here for living and we make them slaves, and then they have to walk or build the monuments for us. One thing he arranged and he ordered his people to cook food and come and fill up this bowl every morning for breakfast and lunch, and he offered food to the monks every day. This one is a king's built temple, and this is king's arrangement for his masters. According to the legend or the history, we didn't want to invade their land. Anyway, you know, the king of Bagan, he united the whole Burma in 11th century, and then he got a message from a traveler monk from Mon state. He was a Mon monk. He arrived to Bagan and then he introduced Buddhism. After listening the teaching of the Mon Buddhist monk, the king of Bagan was really interested in the teaching of the Buddha. So he would like to get Buddhism. So he asked the monk, how can I get Buddhist scriptures and monks to introduce Buddhism to my people? At the time, the Mon monk pointed out the south of Myanmar and the city of Tatong, and to ask the Buddhist scriptures and monks from the Tatong king. At the time, the king of Bagan, he sent his group to Mon state to make the discussion about Buddhism. At the time, the Mon king, he said that this kind of religion was not for cruel men, was not for soldiers. Because at the time we made a lot of wars in Burma for unification. That's why they thought we were cruel soldiers, fighters. That's why they didn't want to give Buddhism. They denied the request of Bagan king like that. At that time, Bagan king was really angry, and then he marched to the south with a big army and he occupied Mon Kingdom and he took everything from Mon state. By that way, Mon people became slaves for the Burmese people. So when they arrived here, they got this land for living and they have to work for the Burmese people. So they have to build the monuments. By that way, they earn money for living. But actually, they are not free people, they are slaves or the workers for us. The king, before he passed away, he would like to build his own temple. But he already lost everything. His own country, his men, and his properties. But he only had his ring in hand. So he sold his own ring and then he built this temple for himself. But he didn't use his title when he gave the name of this temple, not King Manuha Temple. He just gave a normal name, Manuha Temple. Just he described his own name, not the title. That represents he was a defeated king, a prisoner, or his sadness, failure. You can feel it when you go inside the monument. Most of the temples in Bagan have a lot of decoration inside and outside. Inside the temple you can see mural painting, outside the temple you can see plaster carving. And there are statues, spirit statues, inside and outside of the temples. But this one is very special, very plain wall. They are very straight wall, square building. no windows, only one entrance to go in and out, and the statues are very, very big, doesn't fit the room. You can see inconvenience and comfortable feeling when we go inside the building. So there are 4 rooms inside, and 3 rooms contain 3 seated Buddha statues in the front, and then there's 1 room in the back, and you can see big reclining Buddha statue. But that statue is not sleeping or teaching Buddha. That one is the dead Buddha. Because of head direction, we can know exactly, and then because of the straight leg, no footprints on the sole, that's why he is the dead Buddha. So he would like to remind the king of Bagan, alive and dead very close. No one can live forever. No one can take anything when we pass away. Everything we have to leave behind. Only good and bad deeds we did in our life can follow us, can make new life. So that's the reason he would like to educate the king of Bagan. So that's why he made the dead Buddha in the back and alive Buddha statues in front. And there's very thin wall between these Buddha statues, so alive and dead, close together. And then when you look at the big seated Buddha statues in the front rooms, they have very broad and thick chests, broader than normal, bigger than the normal. That means the king, he keep his all feeling in his heart. He had a lot of things to explore and to tell others, the new generation. And then the reclining Buddha in the back, when you look at his face from the close distance, you can see smile. And from another corner, you can see sadness on the face. So you can see 2 different feelings on the face of reclining Buddha statue when you look at him from the different corners. The statues are very big and don't fit the rooms. You can feel uncomfortable feeling of the Buddha statues. And then also, you know, the Mon King was a prisoner in Bagan. So that's why he built this temple, to show the next generation how he suffered as a prisoner in Bagan. So you may remember my explanation. When the Mon people built the monuments, they make only 4 Buddha statues. They never ever count number 5 in the belief. That's why you can see only 4 Buddha statues here. So from here you can see the smile on the face of the Buddha. Why he made smile on the face? He was happy before he passed away. Because it is the only one way to free from a prisoner's life. He was a pure Buddhist, very religious man. And he was suffering because his people were walking as a slave here. He couldn't feel it because of his sadness, depression. And then he passed away. But anyway, he made a smile on the face for freedom. So he showed his sadness. So now you can understand the feeling of the prisoner's life. That's very bad. A straight wall, no decoration. It looks like a prison. Square building. Small corner stupas around at the corner of the monuments to balance the weight of the building. It is important from architectural point of view.
But it's not done by his time.
It was done by that time.
Oh, original.
Yes. Original.